The forest was calm, bathed in warm sunlight, with only the sound of birds singing. Max, a wise gray rabbit, was carefully fixing his wooden fence when Benny, the hyperactive squirrel, came rushing in like a whirlwind. His excitement was impossible to miss. He had heard about enormous pine cones hidden deep in the forest and was determined to find them. Max knew Benny well. He was always full of energy and ready for an adventure, but not always careful. Remembering past misadventures, Max hesitated but couldn't let Benny go alone. So they packed their bags and set off. The forest trail stretched ahead, winding through tall trees and soft moss. Max walked at a steady, relaxed pace, taking in the fresh air, while Benny zipped from tree to tree, stopping every few seconds to investigate rocks, leaves, and tiny insects. The journey was peaceful, until Benny spotted what he thought was a shortcut. Without waiting for Max, Benny darted off the main path into the thick woods, convinced it would save time. But as the trees grew taller and the sunlight faded, the realization hit. They were lost. The once familiar surroundings were now dense and confusing. Max, however, remained calm. He observed the trees and pointed out the moss growing on their north side, explaining how it could help them find their way. For once, Benny listened carefully. Step by step, they followed Max's lead, crossing small streams, climbing over fallen logs, and carefully making their way back. After what felt like hours, the path finally reappeared, leading them to their destination. In a sunlit clearing stood the reward, an enormous pine cone, just as Benny had imagined. He jumped with excitement, his fluffy tail twitching with joy. As they walked home, the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the forest. Benny, now tired but happy, glanced up at Max with admiration. The adventure had been thrilling, but he learned something even more valuable. Excitement is great, but trusting the right guide makes all the difference.